Hey guys, I'm gonna do an oil change on my son's 2016 Corolla S. He usually gets the oil change done at the shop, but I'm doing it this time. For you guys doing the oil change for the first time on this particular car, you need to determine whether you need just the filter element or the oil filter with the housing. In my case, it's using the oil filter in the metal housing. If you're not sure which oil filter type your car is using, then you'll have to look at the oil filter under the car. If it looks like this one, then you'll just need a filter element since the metal filter housing is reused. I usually like to order the OEM filter from Amazon, but Amazon indicated what seemed like valid filter as incompatible, so I got really confused. So I went and just got the cheap oil filter for now so that I can finish the oil change this weekend. So after the oil change, I did some research and found that Toyota was actually superseding old part numbers with new ones. Perhaps there could be some updates made to the filter, but I'm not 100% sure of that. But as you can see, there are so many different part numbers that could, in theory, that could fit this Corolla. If your car is also using the oil filter in the metal housing, then you could use these part numbers. If your car is using only a filter element, then you can use this part number. Since part numbers can change and your car may require a different filter, please double check on the part numbers. You should also replace the drain plug gasket. Also, it's cheaper to order them in a batch like this. I use Mobil 1 synthetic oil on all my cars, and I find that Walmart usually sells them at the lowest price, usually less than 25 bucks for 5 quarts, which is sufficient for this Corolla, which takes only 4.5 quarts.
I got all kinds of oil filter removal tools. I find these things really don't work too well. They slip on me. Now these things actually work pretty well. This is for the Camry, and this is for the Volkswagen Jetta that I had before. This works pretty well. It fits tight, and it really makes it easy to remove. Now, if you get a cheap one like this, notice the difference in thickness and shape. This one also doesn't work too well. This one slips, okay, just like this. They kind of slip. And this is kind of a universal one. It opens and closes, right? So it closes as you're turning. It's supposed to grab tight. But it slips also. I don't have one of these for Corolla, but I found this one actually works really good. You grab onto it like this, and all you need to do is just loosen it, right? Maybe a quarter turn or so, and then after that you can rotate it by hand. So this one is really good. If I don't have one of these, the right size, then this is my backup, and it's not really a backup. It really works well.
For an oil change, I prefer to get the car up on a ramp like this. This is quicker and more convenient than using a floor jack and a jack stand, in my opinion. Also, I use chocks on the rear tires to prevent the rollback.
So let me first unscrew this. So it says 0W20. That's what I got, 0W20. I always use Mobil 1 synthetic oil, and I don't know if it really makes huge difference, but since there's all same price, I get the one that says for Toyota. Get that in there.
First, make sure your drain pan is positioned to catch the oil. Then use a 14mm socket to loosen the drain bolt. In my case, the last oil change place super tightened the bolt, so I had to use a breaker bar. Also, one trick to minimize the oil gushing out suddenly when the bolt comes out, I kind of push in on the bolt as if I'm plugging the hole while I'm finger loosening it. This way, I can control the timing of the actual oil drain. Once I know the bolt is completely out, I quickly yank the bolt away, but no matter how quick you are, we are bound to get some oil, so have plenty of paper towel ready. Some manufacturers recommend replacing the bolt and washer on each oil change. To be honest, I don't always do that. I usually reuse the bolt, but I do try to replace the washer.
Okay, I usually let the oil drain until there's no continuous stream and it's just dripping. I'm gonna put this back on temporarily until I go get the washer. And I'm gonna grab onto the oil filter here and just get a, I love this tool, this plier. Okay, I want to clean the surface. So you want to put a little bit of a fresh oil around this rubber gasket. When you're tightening it, don't use these or anything else. You're supposed to hand tighten it. My gloves are all greased up, so let me take that off. That's about as tight as it'll go. Tighten by hand. That sucks. I could finish this in 5 minutes. I gotta go get that washer.
I don't have any extra washers at home, so I just went and picked up some from the auto parts store. Afterwards, I ordered this washer set from Amazon. Looks like I forgot to hit the record button while putting the bolt and the washer back on, but I think you can do that. You want to tighten the bolt sufficiently to prevent any oil leak, but don't use all your strength to over tighten it and potentially damage any threads. This car takes 4.5 quarts of oil, but I usually start with 4 quarts only and then top it off as I measure the oil level. Next, clean and put the oil cap back on. I had initially parked the car in the shade for the oil change, but I'm gonna move it now to a more level surface so that I can measure the oil level more accurately. But before you do that, start the engine and let it run for a few minutes first to circulate the oil and to fill up the new oil filter. After that, turn off the engine and wait a minute for the oil to drain back to the pan, and then measure the oil level. In my case, since I only put in 4 quarts, I had to top it off with another half quart. I do it this way because it's much easier to top off the oil than to overfill it and then get under the car and then draining some oil out.
Okay, the last thing is we're gonna turn off the maintenance required. So to do that, we're gonna go into a accessory mode. Okay, and then we're on trip A right now. Okay, if not, then use this button. Use this button to go to trip A. Okay. At trip A, you wanna turn it off. At this point, you're gonna wanna hold this trip button while going back to the accessory mode. Hold it down. It says resetting maintenance data. Keep holding. Okay. Now you can let it go. Gonna turn it off. Turn it back on just to see that. Okay. The maintenance required is gone. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.